Well, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. In honor of Thanksgiving, I wanted to speak from the subject, Happy Giving. Now, I'm going to, of course, give you my perspective, the Lafaya way. The Lafaya way is a philosophy I've developed over my 20 years of service to mental health clients. There's been a lot of help to parents and co-parenting relationships, for organizations, leadership, all of that. And so I'm bringing more of the Lafaya way to all of you. Now, today's subject will be Happy Giving. And some of the questions that I have for you in order to evaluate whether or not you're, a good listener for this particular subject is, do you feel like your giving is balanced? Are you often feeling resentful when you give to other people, or does your giving give to you? Does it give you more energy? Are you resentful of a person or some people that you're giving to? And do the people that you give to often seem very ungrateful? Now, this is especially for us parents out there. Often parents feel like their children are very ungrateful. And also, for couples, spouses, boyfriend, girlfriend, often very ungrateful. And so it works in all these areas. Today, I will discuss 3 ways to become a better giver. Number 1, give what you can handle giving. Most people give more than they should. You're already depleted yourself, you have no energy, but yet you're trying to give something that you actually don't have to give. So when you find yourself, say for example, you are exhausted after a day of work and your child wants to go out for ice cream, that may not be the day to be that type of giver, to say, oh yes, I'll take you out even though I'm exhausted and I have no energy for it, I'm going to take you out for ice cream. That's not the best idea, because what happens when you do that is you're giving in a way that causes resentment or annoyance for you, because you already don't have the energy to give it. So better than that would be a well-placed, I'm not going to be able to do that today, but maybe I can do that for you on a different day, a day that you're not so tired, a day that you don't work, something like that. You don't have to give them just a flat out no. We don't want you to be the opposite of the, the overgiver and be that, very mean person that's just like, no, I'm tired, leave me alone. We don't want you to be that person. We want you to become kind of more balanced with it and say, well, you know what? I'm really tired today, but I'd be happy to do that for you on this other day. Number 2, don't give in a way that reinforces things that you dislike or behaviors from others that you dislike. We've all kind of been, I'm sure, guilty of this at one point or another in our lives. And we want to be the giver, we want to be a nice person, or that's what we think about ourselves. And we will just give and give and give to a person who, quite honestly, they don't deserve what it is you're giving. Say you have a child who has been acting out all day long, or for the past 2 days, or the past week, or the past month, okay? And they ask you for something, then the answer is not supposed to be yes if it's not something that's a straight up need. Like if it's food, water, shelter, give those things. Yes, give those things that are necessary. But those things that are not necessary just for the sake of giving them because you want to feel like a nice person, don't do that. If they've been acting out and you give to them what they want anyway, then what they learn is, I can behave whatever way I want to and still get whatever I want. You're giving them a message that you don't want them to have. And then when they take advantage of this, of this realization of theirs, then it makes you, again, more resentful, bitter toward them, and upset. When quite honestly, it's kind of not their fault that they act out and expect to get things anyway, because that's what you do. So you want to work on not reinforcing those behaviors. And that also transfers over to other relationships as well. For spouses, spouses, sometimes they don't deserve certain things. Like they've been, mean to you, not handled you in a very nice way. And then, oh honey, my neck hurts, I need a massage. Well, I really don't, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that today because you've just been so mean to me that I just, I can't imagine myself doing it. Like maybe if you're nicer to me tomorrow, I'd be happy to give you a massage. Number 3, give without expectation or some kind of desired, result or response from another person. I know this is a very difficult thing to do because I think we've been taught in this society, that when you give to someone, they're supposed to say thank you. You know, they're supposed to be grateful. I think on television, we get to see the people, they get things and they jump up and down about it. And it gives us this mistaken idea that that's what we're supposed to get from people in our lives. It's really important to kind of gain that perspective that if I'm going to give, it's just because I like to give. It's because I love to see you happy. Let that be the reinforcement. And even if you don't get a person's face lighting up, even if they don't have that personality type and they're just like, when you give that to them, you're giving for the sake of just knowing that, hey, I have the ability, I have the capacity, I'm so excited that I have the means to give to this person that I love. Because when you give with expectation, what ends up happening is there's a pressure on the other person whenever you give. And then it doesn't feel so much like giving anymore. It almost feels like you're taking something away from them when you give. And they're taking away their ability to just be them. So if you give to a person and they don't give you that big thank you, and now you're all disappointed about it and you're thinking, oh, they're so ungrateful and you're feeling so bad about it, then now all of a sudden they feel bad. Now they feel like the bad person. They feel like a terrible person when in the first place they were supposed to just be kind of somebody who got something and, you know, they're kind of like, that's pretty cool that I got that, right? As opposed to it turns into something wholly different, and it creates a situation where a person almost can't give you what it is that you want, especially when it's like there's upset to it. Now, if you're light about it and you do want to thank you, you require a thank you, then just say that. It doesn't have to be your feelings are hurt and now you're all upset, and you know, or it's just that judgmental, oh, I can't get a thank you, and you know, all those kind of things. Just, you know, leave those out. If you do that, then there's no pressure in that for them. And you can get that thank you without all the other stuff that gets in the way. Expect that most of the time you're not going to get what you want from them. Okay? So if you switch that around and you make it lighter, you say, okay, well, you know, they didn't say thank you. I would have said thank you, but they didn't say thank you. So I'll just ask for the thank you. Then all of a sudden you have no problem unless you make one. Those are my 3 suggestions for becoming a happier giver. Don't give more than you can handle giving. Don't give things that reinforce the behaviors you dislike, and give without expectation. If you try those 3 things, if you start to practice those 3 things, then you'll find yourself a much happier giver. And you will also find that you'll have much happier takers as well. That's the Lafaya way on giving. Until next time, stay you and stay true.